Okay.
All right, we are recording. So, Daniel,
Yes.
it's been 8 years, right? Eighth
True.
annual
Yes.
event. I got to know when you were planning the first year's event, did you ever think that it would last 8 years and end up being, ultimately as big as it is?
Not at all. I was 16 when I did the first one, and like I was just a naive kid, and I wanted to show my video. Like I had a little video, a local video. I wanted to do a premiere for it, and like 616 is like 45 minutes away, and they wanted to do a booth and a few other companies, and the trade show was even at the first one, and then the contest just went crazy. Ben Weiss did some insane stuff, and it just blew up from there. It was a giant snowball, and here we are today, 8 years later, and started it when I was just a young buck, not knowing what I was doing. So
Right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll touch on that same kind of note. So 8 years, three venues. What are your
yeah,
expectations for how the flow is going to impact the event, not only from the skating perspective, but also maybe the spectator and the trade show?
very good question. Thank you for asking that one, because
I
really,
try.
from the move from the first venue to the next venue, from Blindside to Vertigo, that was really kind of a move of a necessity, just because we needed a new park. And this one's a move of necessity too, but the difference in this move is that we really needed more space already. And
Right.
when I was looking at new parks, that was really my main concern, was more room, because
Yeah.
it was Vertigo was just overcrowded. There was no room to stand, no room to skate, and so my main concern was just give the competitors room to skate and give everyone room to walk around and breathe.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
stumbled upon the Flow, which is, I wouldn't say maybe it's the most rollerblade friendly park in the Midwest, but it's definitely the biggest, which is what heavily influenced my decision. So,
I've been to the Flow years ago. Do you know? Is
yeah.
it ever moved? Is it in the same location it's always been in?
They've just recently, I think they've been in this current building for maybe 2 years ish or less.
Uh,
So it has moved from possibly when you've been there. Because in talking with the owner, they had recently been moving, and they're still actually finishing some ramps from the move.
let's change gears, Daniel. Let's talk about your DVD that you make every year
Oh yeah.
for the Bittercold Showdown DVD. I
Yep.
enjoyed last year's and I reviewed it and I
Cool.
thought it was I compared it to the Hoedown video because they offered two different looks at similar kind of experiences. Are you
Yep.
doing it again this year, and what do you have in store, and what's the plan for that?
We sure will be doing it again this year. Doing the interviews again. I think it's very important to keep going on the production quality and keep improving it as much as I can, because I mean my main goal is to make the entire production ready for television. When and if that need arises, that I have it right there. If there's a market for that, we're ready for it.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have the crew in place, we have the interviews in place, we have the structure in place. I've been doing it year after year, and that's kind of my main ultimate goal for it. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep chugging on them, and doing what we have been doing.
Speaking of television or just looking at this year's event, who I know that Razors is like the banner sponsor or whatever,
Yes.
and in the past you've worked with T-Mobile to for better
Yes.
for better or for worse. So I don't know how that all. I
Yes.
remember there was some controversy surrounding that.
Yes.
What any partnerships like that for this year's event?
Um, right now, I mean the main partner, the main sponsor is going to be Razors. They're kind of throwing the biggest chunk of money at us. There are a few other companies that kind of working with and kind of feeling that out and seeing if we can work out some special sponsorships. Not quite the presenting sponsorship, but those are still kind of in the early stages. Kind of waiting for some money to go through, so I don't really want to shout out any names yet,
Sure,
but
sure.
we're still kind of working on a few things. So yeah, and really nobody's pounding on the door yet. So kind of waiting for that phone call that we want to throw a bunch of money at you. But
Yeah. Unless there's anything else that you can think of to really touch on, I was gonna kind of just ask if there's any new. Okay, the 616 video. Yes, you're working on that, and
Yeah.
I know there's going to be a premiere at the event
Yep.
and a party and all that good stuff, which sounds
Yes.
great. Look forward to seeing it.
Yep.
Is there any other news related to this year's Bittercold Showdown that you need to tell people? Should anyone know anything ahead of time that any
Yes.
changes?
Well,
what's the cost to spectate? You know, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, a few things. The first thing, just like last year, anybody that's competing needs to register online before the event. We have, a shopping cart set up that you can pay, that you can do everything you need to get that taken care of before the event. We're not taking any registration at the event, so that needs to be taken care of ahead of time. The other thing is we'll have an admission fee again. The thing I want to say about that is I can't express enough gratitude for everybody that does pay and doesn't complain about it, because it seriously helps us so much make the event better. I see complaints all the time of, why are you charging for this? Why are you charging this much for that? Because we're trying to make the event better. We're trying to make it better for everyone there. And, we're trying to offer as much as we can for everybody that pays. And, everybody wants something for free, but, it doesn't always work like that.
Right.
But I want to thank everybody for that. And the other piece of news is I just got off the phone with Tracy White a little bit ago. He emceed Super Hick this year, and he came highly recommended from Colin Martin and Tom
T Whiskey's the man, of course.
He's going to MC Bittercold this year.
Awesome.
He's going to take care of the event. He's gonna run things so I can get rid of the headache. I don't have to worry about it. Just kind of keep everyone informed, keep everything moving, and so he's going to be there. And that's pretty much the newest news I've gotten. So. Okay,
well that's great news. Tracy White he's a fun, great guy, man, and he commands respect from a crowd for sure.
Cool.
All right, well, Daniel, I guess for now we'll sign off. If anything really big and new changes, we'll touch base again and add it in here. But I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks in Columbus, and best of luck to everything to the final preparations. And
thank you
again, man. Good luck, and we'll talk soon.
Yep. Thank you, Justin.
All right, Daniel. Take care, man.